Hello and welcome to Your Yale Week. I'm Michelle Lee, and here are this week's top stories. At the beginning of this school year, University President Peter Salovey formed Yale's new renaming committee. But since September, the renaming committee, whose task represents the latest administrative attempt to shape the year-and-a-half-long debate over renaming Calhoun College, has raised new questions in the Yale community about the university's decision-making process. The renaming committee is made up of mostly Yale faculty members, which led to a petition calling for the university to appoint a blue-collar worker. This petition received 900 signatures from students, faculty, and Yale dining employees. On Monday night, Mayor Tony Harp announced at a Board of Education meeting that Reginald Mayo will return to New Haven Public Schools as its superintendent following Garth Harry's, Yale class of '95, resignation last month. Mayo, who was named NHPS superintendent in 1992, retired from his position in 2013 after a 46-year career in the school district. Mayo said some of the items at the top of his agenda in 1992, including closing the district's achievement gap and hiring quality teachers, remain issues in New Haven today. And now for our top story. According to a new survey distributed earlier this month to gauge the political climate and student sentiments, Yalees overwhelmingly support Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, law school class of '73. Of the 2,054 students who completed the survey, 38% of Yale's undergraduate population, 81% said they support Clinton for the presidency. Of the 1,814 who support either GOP nominee Donald Trump or Clinton, 94% back Clinton. Even among students who identify as Republicans, 30% said they will vote for Clinton. Next, Neeraj Patel will speak to City Beat reporter John Greenberg for more on this top story from the university.
Thanks, Michelle. We are now joined by John Greenberg, who helped report on two of the stories analyzing the YDN poll results. So there's often debate about just how liberal Yale University's political culture is. What do the poll results tell us about that?
Well, we found out that campus is about 2/3 liberal. 67, roughly, percent of students said that they were either liberal or very liberal. And only 11.86% of students said that they were either conservative or very conservative. So conservatives are outnumbered more than 5-1 on campus.
All right, so one of the biggest headlines here is that of the students who support one of the major party candidates, only 5% back Trump. But what specifically about Republicans on campus? Where do they fall in this picture?
So we found that actually more Republicans on campus, or at least students that identify as usually supporting the Republican Party, are voting for Hillary over Trump. 29.92% of students that identify as Republicans are voting for Hillary, and 26.14% are voting for Trump, which I at least found very surprising.
Could you tell us more about the discrepancies in enthusiasm between Democrats and Republicans on campus?
Yeah, so the average we found for people that are definitely voting in the election was 85%, roughly. Around 85% of students said that they were definitely going to vote in the presidential election. Now, Democrats, students that identified as Democrats, about 90% of those students said that they were going to vote, and only about 2/3 of Republicans on campus said that they were definitely going to vote. So, a huge gap there. And about 30% of students that identify as Democrats said that they were frustrated that Hillary was their party's nominee, and over 80% of Republican students said that they were frustrated that Trump was their nominee. So, obviously, clearly, Republican students are not happy with Trump or just with this election in general. That's kind of the takeaway from the data.
All right, well, what about third parties? Is there a lot of support for third party candidates like Libertarian nominee Gary Johnson and Green Party nominee Jill Stein?
No. Only about 3% of students are voting for third party candidates, Jill Stein or Gary Johnson, which is, obviously I didn't think a lot of students were going to vote for Johnson or Jill Stein, but I certainly expected more than 3%, so that surprised me.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming by, John.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show.
And from everyone at YTV, thanks for watching.
Vaccines contain antigens from the flu, and it makes the body create antibodies which are protective against the virus.
But how effective are these flu shots? And why are we encouraged to get them every year? There's no